Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Saul Lopez and I am an award-winning content creator based here in Los Angeles, California. Thank you so much for everyone that tuned in to all the videos that I did this month. At the beginning of December, I decided that I was going to be posting 3 times a week, and honestly, it was quite a mission. It was a lot of effort, but it was honestly so much fun just to put all these videos together and kind of reflect on all the different projects that I've been on. In today's video, the final video of the year 2020 for my YouTube channel, I will be speaking about my 5 favorite videos that I made this year. Roll the intro. I came into this year with a lot of promise, a lot of expectations, and a lot of things that I wanted to accomplish. But as life goes, as 2020 has proven to be so topsy-turvy, I had to pivot and kind of readjust to this new climate that we were in. The 5 videos that I am going to be sharing today won't have the original music because I use a lot of copyrighted music. So if you do want to check the actual videos to their full potential, I'm going to leave a link in the description below to each Instagram post so you guys can go check those out with the music attached. This first video that I created was actually prior to the pandemic out in Paris with French Olympic fencer Ysaora Thibus. This was actually shot back in February in Paris. I was out there during Fashion Week. However, I got connected to Ysaora from a mutual friend, and I was invited to come do a little mini shoot of a workout of hers at the Olympic training facility, which is 20 to 25 minutes outside of Paris. And it was actually really cool. It was really official. I had to get like security clearance and like had to show my ID and all this information, but it was really cool just to see the whole facility set up. They have a bunch of Olympians and athletes living on campus on these grounds. And they have fields for soccer or football, as Europeans call it. They have fencing, gymnastics, all types of weightlifting gyms. It was just honestly incredible and insane to see. And I actually shot with Ysaora for about an hour and a half with her representative, her manager, who is a mutual friend of mine. I had a really good time just like shooting something different. You know, fencing, it just seems like I've never really watched too much fencing, but it just seems like a very like upper elite type of sport. So it was really cool just to be able to interact with her and just like see her in her element and just be in this Olympic training facility for the France national team. But she was really kind, just gave me everything that I needed, and I was able to direct her and ask her for certain things if I needed something to be done. Again, just staged a couple shots, but mainly just wanted to get her in her zone, working out and just capturing that intensity that she brings to her sport, just to be able to connect with her and someone that will be competing in the Tokyo Olympics this upcoming summer. So best of luck to her. But this was one of the first projects that I was able to be on this year, earlier in February out in France. So that was video number 1. With video number 2, we have Ziaire Williams, who used to be a Sierra Canyon basketball player here in Los Angeles, but now is a freshman at Stanford University. I actually gathered a lot of footage earlier this year just by attending a lot of Sierra Canyon basketball games. I spoke about this in my last video, my top 5 photos, but I mentioned that going into this year, I really wanted to build my sports portfolio and just integrate myself more in the sports industry and network with that group of people. And a way that I did that was just attending a lot of Sierra Canyon basketball games, bringing my camera and creating my own content revolving around those games. So I attended around 4 to 5 games at the beginning of this year, prior to March, obviously, and it was just a really fulfilling experience, something that I really enjoyed and had a ton of fun doing. And I actually put this edit together after he committed to Stanford, so I got a couple sound bites of his commitment speech video that went up on YouTube, and then I threw in a lot of my footage that I had gathered during the season, and then I kind of just shared it on social media. And I tried a couple different editing techniques. I had some new elements that I integrated at the beginning. I used like a robot voice changer to introduce Ziaire's name and just his position. So I thought that was a really nice element and just kind of elevated the overall feel of the video. And this was actually something that I edited and put together at the beginning of the pandemic around April. So I was just kind of at home, bored, not much to do. And one day I kind of got this surge of inspiration and was like, you know, I want to try a little bit different. I have a ton of time on my hands and just want to put something together because it had been a minute since I had edited anything together, and the result was this video for Ziaire Williams, and I shared that on social media. I sent it to Ziaire and he really enjoyed it, so that was pretty cool. With video number 2, it is Ziaire Williams' Stanford commitment video. If there's only one takeaway from this video, is to not be afraid to keep creating. We're still in the middle of a pandemic. It seems like every day there's just more and more cases, and we might be stuck at home even more so. But if you're sitting on a bunch of old footage that you haven't done anything with, or if you just feel stuck, uninspired, just start. That's the biggest piece of advice that I can give you, is just to start, because as soon as you start editing, as soon as you start dragging your files into the timeline, something will come of it. And even if it's terrible, at least you are heading in the right direction, as opposed to just sitting and not doing much. I know it can be mentally draining, especially right now, just being at home. If you have wanted to start at some point, this is your sign. Just please remember to start, because there's always great things that come out of it when you put your creativity to use. And on that note, the third video that we have here is actually a video that I just did for fun, that I wanted to do just because I was sitting at home. And this was back during the summer or late summer months of August, September, which is usually the biggest wildfire months here in Los Angeles. And I was just sitting at home here in Pasadena, and there was one day in specifically where the sky was just completely orange. There was a ton of wildfires in the area, in the greater Los Angeles area, and I wanted to document this just because it's always interesting for me to look back on footage of just, you know, places and areas that I am familiar with. For this video, I actually just took my drone out to the Rose Bowl here in Pasadena and just got some drone shots. And I think looking back on this footage, maybe 5 years from now, 10 years from now, it's gonna be really crazy just to see like what it looked like on this specific day. And I think with video footage of landmarks, the more that time passes, the more valuable that footage becomes, because it is almost a moment in history, because now we have a shot of the Rose Bowl in the middle of a wildfire season here in Los Angeles, something that people can always look back on and reflect on. When I was first starting out as a videographer, I have a bunch of footage of the Rose Bowl stadium just on its own on a clear, bright, sunny day here in Southern California, and I was able to compare and contrast you know, the footage from the wildfire season to the footage of that clear summer day. Being able to just compare the two is just something that's really incredible. So I really enjoyed creating and putting together this video, and it literally took me like 10 minutes to shoot this video. It was not long at all. I started at the Rose Bowl, went over to the Colorado Street Bridge, threw it up on Instagram, and it got really good feedback on social media, and people were really enjoyed seeing just something that they're familiar with, and just how crazy the smoke and the air quality had gotten. So that's video number 3, and again, don't be afraid to create your own content. Moving on to video number 4, and just like my top 5 photos, it would not be just if I did not include any of the Black Lives Matter protest footage that I gathered earlier this summer, back in June and July. This specific drone shot that I got was actually featured in the music video for I Can't Breathe by the artist Her. We actually ended up winning a MTV Video Music Award and an MTV European Music Award in the Video for Good category. And this specific drone clip is the footage that opens up that music video. And honestly, this was just kind of a crazy day. I really wasn't planning on going out this day. However, my friend Nikki hit me up and then kind of just pushed me over that hump to just join her and go out and just document. And this was the very beginning, the very first shot of that day. We were actually heading in an Uber to the beginning of the protest, but as we were crossing Fairfax Avenue and Sunset Boulevard, we noticed the beginning of the protest line, and then we quickly decided to jump out there and just kind of join the protest from the front of the line. I really wanted to get my drone shot up first because I had maybe 100 yards before the protest line got to me, so I wanted to have time to set up my drone footage, and I knew that later down the protest I might not be able to get these shots. So I threw up my drone, and then I just kind of started flying my drone towards the crowd of people that were coming in my direction. I got a couple shots of, you know, facing down, getting the crowd walking and flying in their direction, and then I got a big reveal shot. You can kind of see the downtown LA skyline on the right hand corner. And again, I just threw this on social media and I got a really good response, and it really allowed people to feel like they were there, feel a part of the movement. And that's really all I wanted to do with the footage that I was gathering from these different protests, was just to share this online, to make people feel like they were there and a part of the movement, even if they couldn't. Obviously, this was during and still is a pandemic, so people may not have been comfortable going out, but still seeing the amount of people that joined forces and were fighting for a common goal was just super inspiring. And being able to throw my drone up is something I'm always nervous about, especially over a large group of people, but I made an exception and was able to fly it on this day. And I'm really glad that I did, because it allowed me to connect with a bunch of people around the world and opened a lot of new doors that I would not have expected just from flying this little drone right here. So coming in at number 4 is my Black Lives Matter protest footage that was featured in the music video for I Can't Breathe by her. And last but not least, my favorite video that I made this year is the DeMar DeRozan recap video for the Compton peace protest. My friend Nikki Boutte invited me out this day just to make a recap video for DeMar, because he was one of the people that helped organize this protest in his hometown of Compton. Honestly, I've spoken a lot about this day, about this video, so I don't want to beat a dead horse, but for anyone new that's watching this, it was really inspiring just to see all these people and just DeMar going back to his community, and so many people gravitating towards him and showing him love, and him showing love back to his community, and just being there with his friends and family as well, which is just super inspiring. And then seeing him and Russell Westbrook, who has been one of my favorite basketball players since he's been in the league, just giving a speech to this crowd of people and sharing their words and their thoughts and feelings about what was happening in the world and the racial injustices that Black people have faced in this country, was just really moving as well. And just, it was a beautiful day, very inspiring. Seeing all these people, there's not enough that can be said about this. And from this day, I had that interaction with Kendrick Lamar where I was able to take his portrait. I filmed this video over the course of 2 to 3 hours at the protest. One of Nikki's other friends, Andre, helped provide some extra drone footage that I was able to use in this edit. As soon as I got home, I started editing this video. I had it done a couple hours shortly after the protest was done. I sent it over to Nikki, who gave it to DeMar, and then he threw it up on his social media accounts, and it just went crazy. I think it got like 2 million views on his account. It was reposted by literally everyone. I think LeBron reposted it. And just seeing a piece of work that I was able to create literally right here in this household end up being seen by millions of people and reposted by just all these different people that I've looked up to for a really long time was just just something that I'll never forget, and really is one of the more fulfilling parts of this career, and just something that I enjoy doing, and I'm looking forward to doing more so in the future. But with my favorite video that I made this year has to be hands down the DeMar DeRozan recap video at the Compton peace protest. Just a day that will go down in history, hopefully, for people to learn from, but just something that I will always remember and cherish for the rest of my life as well. All right, everyone, so those were my 5 favorite videos of the year 2020. My year in review is done. My 3 videos per month here in December are done. Thank you so much for any new person who is watching this, who has found me here on YouTube. I really appreciate you. I think I have like 300 subscribers at the time that I'm filming this, and it's something I've really enjoyed doing. YouTube is a passion project for me. I just enjoy sharing all the things that I've learned as a freelance content creator over the last 3 years within the fashion, music, and sports industry. So I am looking forward to doing more so in 2021. I hope you are having a safe holiday season and you're spending it with those closest to you. Starting next week, I will be going back to my regular schedule of posting every Tuesday, every week at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I really look forward to seeing you all in the new year. Hope you're staying safe out there, and I'll see you next week. Thanks so much. I might just hit it through. That's on my element. I like dark skins, love a melanin, pushing in the tongue when I'm stepping in.